Ooh, sorry. The ad came up. Hello, hello. How y'all doing? Hi, Shelby. Doing great? Doing better? I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes and then we will start. We're gonna check in quickly to see what you may expect next week and a half. Hi, Julia. How was your Monday, everyone? Okay, let's get your piles ready, shall we? What is up? What would be beneficial to focus on next week and a half? Pile number 1. Pile number 2. Let me adjust the camera slightly because it is a little bit crooked. Nope, not this way, that way. And pile number 3. We're gonna pair this up with another deck. What is up with you all? Couple of focus points we're gonna look at. It was your birthday. Happy birthday. Did you celebrate yesterday or are you gonna celebrate this weekend? Pile 2. And pile number 3. Alrighty, so as usual, take your time. See which pile draws your attention. Pile 1, 2, or 3. And soon we will start. I'm gonna let people know that we're on pile 1 now. Oh, I can't type today. Okay, okay. Let's see what is up with you all, pile number 1 people next week and a half. What do we need to talk about? We have create boundaries. We have a mature female. We have nature. And your main deck will be the Steampunk Tarot. One more second, I will adjust you slightly. Sorry about the noise. Here we go. What's up with you all? we have Ten of Swords, we have the Four of Swords, we have the Page of Wands, we have Judgment, we have Nine of Swords, okay. And we have the Page of Swords, okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Devil. Pile number 1. Next week is all about you getting a grip on what you know is your bad habit. Basically, we're looking at some things that we tend to do that don't benefit us very much. This is a very powerful week to look at those. Now, some of you may be coming out of the period of anxiety or depression, and you want to kind of get it under control a little bit. Others of you are focusing on your sleep patterns. How do I sleep? Do I get quality sleep? Do I not? If I don't get quality sleep, what is disturbing me? That's why a lot of you who don't sleep very well next week, you'll be very drawn to nature. You'll want to spend more time around water specifically. You want to spend some time looking at the fire. I'm seeing big bonfire for some of you. You want to work maybe with a fire element in general in order to cleanse yourself or in order to break some sort of cords. Now, Create Boundaries is telling me that you next week, you're all about knowing where your personal boundaries lie and you're not allowing anyone to step over them. So this is your pat on the back here. Especially if you have an individual, if you had someone like that for a while who tends to do that, or if you yourself, you allow people to do that, next week, no more. I'm seeing for some of you gonna notice quite a lot of signs from nature. There even may be a visitation from the other side for you here. This visitation is very likely to be from your loved deceased person. Could be a grandpa, grandma, family member, doesn't matter who this is. It seems that in general, intuitively you're drawn to nature, and not only for you to kind of rewind, but you're also noticing what nature has to offer in terms of this. Some of you who have gardens, you will want to spend more time outdoors, outside. You may be drawn to gardening, planting something new, buying new flowers, and you may notice that something magical happens in that garden of yours. Say, for example, as you're gardening, there is a bird watching you this whole time, and you go, this is strange. This doesn't really just feel like any random bird. It feels like a message. So let me look up the species of a bird. What is the spiritual meaning behind it? What kind of messages do those birds tend to carry? And you may want to look a little bit deeper into the species itself. What is it known for? How is it different from other species? What are the powers of that particular animal? Next week is a great week for pile number 1 to learn. Focus on learning. Whatever you want to improve. Would it be, I don't know, I keep seeing numbers and I heard accountant. It's for someone specifically out there. Whatever you know you're not really good at, next week you will want to improve that aspect of the self because you're feeling anxious about it. And you go, okay, instead of me feeling anxious about it, let me do something about this. Same would go for those people who are feeling under pressure or very tensed up. I cannot continue feeling this way. Let me do something about it. Let me spend some more time outside. Let me disconnect from technology for as long as I can during the day. All right, let's see what else. Let's peek at your Tea Leaf Tarot. In need of help, assistance, and guidance, we have a stubborn, aggressive individual. We have advice from a friend. Let's clarify this. What about assistance and guidance? I'm seeing someone helping you out with your goal or dream of some sort that you have in mind next week. Whoever this individual is, they feel like your soul tribe, your family. This person loves you very dearly and they want to help you out. This could be an advice. They could navigate you towards a direction where you need to be. In general, maybe they're a bit knowledgeable on a topic that you're not so much. Someone wants to invest in your dream or goal with time, their energy, maybe even for some of you, financial support. Let's tap into the Ram here. Let's see. Someone who tends to be very stubborn in your circle is actually looking at you as an inspiration, how to speak from the heart, how to be more compassionate, and how not to be so stuck up. So you may receive a compliment from this individual. It seems that they are, first of all, they are observing you, observing how you talk, how you walk, and they go, you know what? You're actually a really good inspiration, a really good example for me, what not to do. Or for some of you, if you've been dealing with this individual in the past week, someone who tends to be just too stubborn, you know, to the point where they may be a bit annoying, next week, it seems that you are the one who is able to show them that part of themselves that they don't really see. And it seems that this person will be grateful. At first, they may not like what you say, but in the long run, they're going to be grateful. Let's talk about advice from a friend. Advice from a friend. You'll be talking to a friend about a work situation, and it seems that they have valuable insight, especially if you're going to be talking about teamwork or something about a particular teammate of yours. Another thing, what I'm seeing here, it could be very valuable advice in terms of how to save money or where to invest your money next week. But overall, pile number one, focus on your sleep a little bit more next week because it seems that some of you may be in need of rest. Focus on analyze how much time you spend on the screen. Okay, some of you may want to go on your app on your phone and check how many hours you were on the screen. Nature is your kind of sacred space the next week. That's where you go to rewind, that's where you go for inspiration. And it may seem like a simple thing, but I feel like the moment you come back from nature, you will realize how much worth and abundance you carry home with yourself. So that's what I got for pile number one. Let's continue with pile number two now. As usual, if anyone is in need of a mini reading, you know what to do. You can book via website or PayPal. Just check the pinned comment in the live chat. Okay. On pile two now, people. Let's see what we have for you. We have show self-respect. We have focus point laziness. And we have a pleasant surprise. Now, first thing first, pile number two. Whenever we are disciplined, we do show self-respect, right? We know that we deserve discipline because discipline and routine is what takes us further. Next week, You're focusing on not being lost in this lethargy or feeling apathic. You know that you need to get a grip. And it could be in general, just one situation, one particular situation that you kept postponing that you needed to sort out. There could be also a situation where you're talking to someone else saying, you know what, you gotta get a grip of this. Because if you don't do this yourself, no one else will do it for you. So next week is a time for action for pile number 2. Is the time for action. Let's continue. Let's look at your tarot. At the bottom we have the Knight of Wands. We have the Four of Swords. We have the Justice. Let me push it up a bit so you can see more. We have the Emperor. Here is your Emperor. With discipline and routine. We have the Chariot. And we have the Queen of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Next week, you're gonna be perceived by some people as a little bit bossy. I don't know, you may have your own business, or you may have a status in your work and people look up to you, people seek for your advice, or people know that they cannot F around with you. You're carrying this energy of a boss next week, and I really feel here with the Chariot that's exactly what's taking you further with your projects, ideas, some of your goals that you have. What's important here, pile number 2, is to make sure that you include in your schedule, include quality rest time. There is an opportunity for someone to travel next week or to explore new environment. This environment could be connected to work. For example, someone asks you to go and check out this new object, check out this new, I don't know, branch, or go and lead a seminar or a meeting somewhere. I'm getting international vibes next week. Whoever has any international dealings, hi T. It's a really beneficial week for you because I feel like a lot of important connections can be made. And you also are being seen as a person who knows what they're talking about, a person who knows where they're going. And a lot of people will want your leadership. Now, even if you are not a boss in your workplace, this is going to show up in your circle. Don't be surprised if people will be calling you asking for advice. Someone will want a bit more time of yours. So you're going to know how to manage your stuff and someone else's stuff. You're going to have to figure out, high power, when to say no, okay? When to say no. We do see a surprise coming from a person who mostly sits in their masculine energy. This person gives me the vibe of someone who's a parent, a father, or in general, they have this fatherly kind of energy about them, kind of father's archetype we're seeing here. Since this is a surprise, I'm not going to give it away for you what it is. This could be a situation that is being organized by a masculine energy that's going to end up being a surprise for you. I really want to read about this card from the book for you, so just bear with me here for a second. Show self-respect. It is time to get to know your inner self. Basically, when I'll be reading this, this is what kind of energy you are in the next week. Self-respect requires you to listen to the cycles of your body and your inner voice, as well as discern what behavior, relationships, environment, food, beverage, work, etc. are healthy for you. Self-worth occurs when your world of thoughts and feelings is elevated into higher domains. That is when you start to know at the core of your being that you are a spirit soul being supported by many angelic helpers. What can stop you from self-love and self-respect are the deep personal lies you might have developed in the early years of your childhood, of being unwanted, not good enough, not lovable enough, not smart enough. This can plunge you into a perpetual self-doubt and self-sabotage. It is time to identify what is working in your life and what is harming you. This self-reflection will allow you to turn confusion and uncertainty into profound self-knowledge. Pile number 2 is very high on working on themselves the next week. And you know what? You are smashing it. You are smashing it. You're a really good example for some other people around you how to deal with some things that may be emotionally triggering for you. You're not giving in to triggers very easily. You also act like a good example for others how to deal with their inner demons, inner shadows. Whenever you want to lash out or whenever you feel that you are becoming maybe angry or you're going to explode, you take a step back, you gather yourself, and then you come back to it. And I really see here someone watching you, or a couple of people watching you, how you deal with difficult situations or maybe conversations, and they are getting inspired. This pile number 2 in general would be great, I feel, coaches. Of course, if you already reached that point where you know yourself, right? You know how well discipline works for you, you know how impactful the routine is for you, you would be great coaches. So if you are one of them, next week you're going to have a very good week for business, okay? For the rest of you, your routine and your discipline, notice how that's going to reward you the next week. It's going to show up in various different ways. For some of you, a bonus at work. Others of you, compliments from other people. Others of you, I don't know, it can be some sort of surprise that is not directly connected to whatever you're working on here, whatever you're disciplining yourself at. It can show up in different forms. So keep an open mind, but you will notice those rewards coming to you the next week for sure. Okay? Now let's continue with pile number 3. This is also, by the way, a great week for pile number 2 to make any big changes in terms of your habits. What do you want to replace some of the habits, old habits with? It will be a bit easier for you to do that the next week. Okay. On pile 3 now. Let's see what we have for you. Let me have a sip of coffee. Pile 3, what's up? Take positive action. We have a grandparent. We have generosity. Ooh, sweet. Okay, I want to switch decks for you. And we're going to be using, one moment, the deck that I don't use very often at all, and I don't even know the name of it. Ace of Swords, Adept of Coins, 5 of Wands, 4 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we got the 10 of Wands. I feel like I want a couple of extra cards here for you. All right, wisdom. Trigger statement, it doesn't make sense. True statement, I see the bigger picture. Of course, with the Hangman, we have it right here. We'll place it right here. And heart chakra, we have gratitude. Generosity, gratitude, okay. Trigger statement, I am overwhelmed. True statement, I am moving. The time for planning is complete. Take action, no matter how small. Begin today. So pile number 3 is also my people next week who will want to keep themselves busy because they have a bigger picture in mind, where they want to be a year, 5 years, 10 years from now. And they know that every positive action that they take, it takes them closer to where they want to be. You may have very profound dreams the next week, pile 3. Pay attention to those. It's not just going to be a random dream that you remember for the rest of the day. It's going to be a message. There's strong Virgo energy here, so I don't know, maybe a lot of Virgos chosen this pile. What's important for you next week is a sense of independence, especially emotional independence. Say, for example, if you tied yourself to a person, to a situation, to the point where you have become emotionally attached, next week you will want to detach from it because you're understanding that it has an effect on you that you don't necessarily like, and it's not beneficial for you. Next week is a great week for any of you who are into competitive sports or who will have to compete for their spot. It could be in the workplace, it could be, I don't know, in a friend group, whatever the case. It's also a week of great ideas and great insights. So if I were you, I would note those down, note the ideas down, and don't forget about them, because those will be useful for you in the future. We do see you getting good karma, pile 3, and it's for something that you've done in the past 2 weeks. Would it be a nice word that you said to a person who needed it at that time? Would it be you putting yourself second because someone else needed you more, needed your attention or energy more? Would it be you taking care, helping the elderly person, helping the homeless person? You are getting good karma back, pile number 3. Now, those who have living grandparents, it's a really great week to reconnect with them and to spend some time with them. I do see someone's grandparent missing them, but they don't necessarily want to interfere or interrupt you. Someone is receiving a gift, can be big, can be small, by a grandparent. Now, if all grandparents are not here anymore, then you may feel a presence of one of the grandparents with you the next week. If that's your case, you will know exactly when it happens, because this sign, this message will not be random. It's going to be very kind of out of the blue, and it's going to be very in your face. Let's read about take positive action here. Let's see what it has to say. Stop procrastinating and delaying what needs to be done. So pile 3 is also working on procrastination, a bit like pile number 2. If you take steps forward now, you will create potent momentum where many new possibilities you haven't yet considered will show up. If you hold back, you will open the doors to old, fearful habits which will make you doubt what you are doing. Your will is the most undeveloped aspect of you and requires conscious effort from you in order to progress. This action may require you to study something you have tried to avoid or have been holding off on completing. You may need to pay attention to your emotional, mental, or physical health and make time to see an appropriate practitioner or commit to a powerful detox protocol. Some of you are focusing on your health a lot more than before because you know that this is going to impact how proactive you're going to be during your days and weeks. You may have been putting off doing paperwork and taking responsibility for your finances, making important changes in your business, which is costing you time and money. Or your action could be to help someone who is in need, whether it is a homeless who is in need, whether it is a homeless person, we talked about this, right? Someone who is unwell, or someone who's lonely and needs company. The most important thing is to stop putting things off, things that need urgent attention, and engage your will. And that's exactly, and I looked at the people watching, it was 8 people watching, 8 likes. That's exactly where your good karma lies, in understanding who needs you around them and making it happen. If, say, you are like, oh, I'm gonna see this person on Monday, and you keep postponing, if you're going to stick to action the next week, notice your rewards. And it could be for anything in your life. If you tend to procrastinate way too much, next week, if you're gonna try and get a grip on it, and if you say 3, 2, 1, I get up and go and do stuff, right? Notice how your rewards come to you pretty quickly for what you are trying to achieve and for your actions and for your efforts. So that's what I got for pile number 3. I hope this made sense. Now, if no one is in need of a mini read, let me just check the website quickly before I log off, because sometimes people book there. If no one is in need of a mini read, I will log off and I will continue my private readings that I have left to do today. So thank you everyone who has passed by to spend some time here with me. And I hope all of the messages are making sense already. If not, see how it ties into your week a little bit further down your week. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.